Pisces, welcome to your intimate tarot reading. I hope you're well. I hope you're fabulous. If you're new to the channel and you'd like to know why I read intimate tarot, specifically sexual energy, it will be outlined for you in the description box. As a heads up, if you are indeed that sensitive Pisces and you are not comfortable around the topics of sexual energy, sexual identification, sexual descriptions, both vague as very, very specific or detailed, this is not the reading type for you. Feel free to pass this one up. I will see you in a couple of weeks. No offense taken, none whatsoever. I don't ever want you to watch anything you do not value, because you will take nothing from it. That's why. And that's true for all tarot. If it goes against what you believe, don't watch it. That's it. I myself, personally, I understand sexual energy, no matter how defined, labeled, it exists within us in some way, to some degree. And if that's true, it affects how we operate as individuals. Thus, it stands to reason, affects our relationships as well. That's why I look at it. In my point of view, from my eyes, all energy is real, all energy is valid, and all worth exploring, so long as we better understand how it affects us. That's the point of looking at any tarot. What are we doing? What are we up to? Why? What's a motivating principle? And there's so much confusion and stigma surrounding sexual energy. What's it about? Does it mean anything at all? Does it mean something to me? If so, why? How do I value my sexual energy? Therefore, how do I value myself? That kind of thing. Now, a lot of people tune in hoping to see fun, sexy times, and I always hope that too. That's always nice, right? That's always the ideal. But say Scorpios, for instance, sexual energy was there for a very strong friendship. But ultimately, that's how it was playing out, was a friendship. But feelings first. The strength of the friendship was more important than whatever underlying sexual energies there were. So sometimes, like I said, it's very realistic. Real tarot is real life. All right? But I never know what I'm going to see. Sometimes the sexual energy is forging something new between someone else, and that's always exciting. And other times I see a lot of established couple energies and how that's playing out. For others, they're not with anyone at all. They're still examining their sexual energy with the ex-partner and what happened there, you know? I never know. So let's find out. Show me that Piscean sexual energy, please. This is the Arcanum Tarot. I had this deck a long time ago, completely wore it out, poor thing, and replaced it. It's a beautiful deck. I highly recommend it. What's going on, please, for that Piscean sexual energy? First, we're going to establish your baseline. We're going to briefly look at the past, catch up to present day, and over the next several months. Show me. Show me that Piscean sexual energy. Show me that Piscean sexual energy. Show me that Piscean sexual energy. Show me. Oh, okay. Huh. Show me that Piscean sexual energy, please. Oh, I hope not. I hope some of you are not in a space of mourning. Okay. But that could be for some of you. Let's do another one. Show me that Piscean sexual energy. Like always, basic rules apply. Take what resonates, leave what does not. Reverse energies as it applies. Cross-watch are same. The whole point of having comments open is to share, not be disparaging. Okay? All right. Seven of Swords. Oh, your sexual energy was sneaking away from somebody. It's like, I'm not comfortable with this. Your sexual energy was not comfortable with somebody. Let's fast forward the world. So you ended it. You ended a sexual cycle with somebody. You were already leaning away from them in that direction anyway with the Seven of Swords. Crossing justice, the sexual energy felt not correct at all. Okay. Let's see who's surrounding you. Eight of Wands, Ace of Pentacles. I got a brand new energy surrounding you. I don't know when it will introduce itself, but it seems to be dead set on doing exactly that. I don't know if this person was waiting to shoot their shot, as they say. I don't know, but it looks like, oh, now is the time. And it looks like it's happening relatively soon. Their sexual energy towards you is Ace of Pentacles. In other words, it's legit, it's sincere, and they have a very strong sense of what they want to do with their sexual energy. In other words, they take it seriously. In that respect of sexual energy, as the Ace of Pentacles, it needs to go somewhere. It needs to have value. It means to need something. Eight of Wands, they are very interested in talking to you. And planting that pentacle, honey. They seem to know then that you are out of something. So that means they have some idea of who you are, if they understand that this is the time to shoot their shot, as they say. Okay? Cheers. All right, let's take a look at the next several months. I don't know if you'll be receptive. That's up to you. Judgment. King of Swords. Determined. King of Pentacles. I got 2 heads of state. Okay, I got 2 people who are like, all right, let's try it out. Now's the time. Now's the time. Now's the time. Now is the time, Pisces saying. It's like, I don't know that you'll be head over heels. I don't know that you're going to immediately fall in love. I don't know if you're immediately going to jump in there. I don't know. I do know I got 2 people here who are like, yes, let's give it a crack. Okay, strengths, Knight of Pentacles in your sexual energy. You're willing to take it slow. You don't want to rush it. You want it to be real, legit, and make sure it's at a steady pace. Very good. Obstacles, waiting, the expectation. This is coming across as expectation as opposed to waiting. And the Empress, moving forward. Oh my, we do feel very satisfied. Excellent. The Empress is one of my favorite cards, if not my favorite card in sexual energy, for she is the bee's knees. My absolutely favorite figure. So, as I say all the time, the Empress is the most productive card in the deck. That is a form of self-empowerment. I achieve, I create, I bring into the world because I am very comfortable with me. I understand my self-worth and my self-value. I love myself, and I know what my standards are. And in sexual energy, she's all that, but when it comes to you, I have no inhibitions because you are my person. I am comfortable in my body with you because I love you. Because I have strength in who I am, you have strength in who I am, therefore I have no reason to be afraid or shy. Everything that I have to offer is for you. So she is a highly sexualized but confident sexualized female because she knows exactly where her energy is going, and it makes her feel good that it's going to that one particular person in that one particular direction. If she gave that away to just anybody, she would not be the Empress, right? So this is a very strong sense of hell yes. Nice. Nice. Pisces. I like it. I like it. You seem to be very confident and very bold with this person, but in the right measure. And I don't think you'd be giving so much of yourself unless it felt absolutely right. So you went from or came from a place clearly of marked unfairness in your sexual energy and probably overall relationship energy to this feels really right. Okay. 7 of Swords, your sexual energy was already sneaking away from somebody. It was already, it's 7 of Swords, it's really not a pretty way to do it. We've all done it. We've all experienced 7 of Swords, and if you say you haven't done that, I'm going to call you a liar. You cannot be a human being and not experience 7 of Swords or 5 of Swords or 9 of Swords in some way to some extent. It's just not possible, as I understand the definition of being alive. So the 7 of Swords, like I said, it's just not pretty. It's no way pretty. You dipped out. You sidestepped. I don't feel comfortable with this. I don't really know how to address it, so I'm just going to leave it alone, but I'm not going to be involved with it anymore. Some call it ghosting. Some call it sidestepping. Some say, I can't really address it, but I do know I need to get away from it. So we kind of offer, whatever it is, some very light excuses about why we're making our exit, if at all. We can't fully explain it. Sometimes it just comes from a place of, I'm not comfortable with this, and I don't know how to express it. So I'm going to sidestep it. I might say something, but it doesn't really address the heart of the issue. I think that's more about where you were or where you were coming from. And that's not good in our sexual energy. It's not. We don't ever want to feel uncomfortable in our sexual energy that we can't give ourselves completely to someone that we're supposed to be intimate with yet. And some people have no problem exchanging sexual energy without having any emotional or mental attachment to it. That's not the Emperor Empress energy at all. They're the highest forms of integration. But some people can, but that doesn't mean they should or that they like it. You know, not sure where you were coming from or what you were leaving behind. The Hanged Man, you suspended it. Oh yeah, you suspended. You had too many questions. There's something here about the trust in the sexual energy that's way off. You didn't trust it for some reason. And that's going to resonate with each of you Pisces individually, so take that as it fits. And don't take it if it doesn't fit. At the 2 of Swords, you had too many questions, I think, about whomever was proposing to be a sexual partner with you. You could never fully commit to it. It's like, I'm not sure about you, your sexual energy, or where you're coming from. Something about it, you have too many question marks surrounding you. I don't know what your history is, and I don't know if I want to be part of your history. It's something like that. I don't think you could trust where this person was coming from, experience-wise, and I don't think you could trust their intentions. There was something about it where you did not mentally acclimate towards this person. Trust was a critical issue here. It's looking like you had an opportunity to enter something with somebody, but I see you declining it before it got so far. There's a hanged man here. I don't think you ever fully committed your sexual energy to whoever this was because there was just too many questions surrounding them as a person, their intentions, their sex, where they've been, who they've had it with, how much, and with who, and how long of a history. There's something about it where you're like, you know, you seem to have a lot going on without any particular answers to all the questions that surround you. I'm really not into mysterious sexual histories. You have partners, we all have ex-partners, that's fine. But who you're with, how long, and are you still tied to them, that all seems to be under question. I don't feel secure in this because for Pisces, honey, for you, a big thing is security, particularly sexual security. And this is very opposite of insecure. So I don't know how long you were in this, but I just know that you were long enough in it to stop trusting it, if you ever trusted it at all. You really didn't entertain the sexual energy very well. You didn't feel, even if you did put some of yourself into it sexually, you were never comfortable with it. You could never find your pace with it. You could never find your ease with it because there was too much confusion around intentions. And what have you got going on exactly? Where are you coming from? And how are you interested in me? Like what? It's too vague. It's too confusing. And again, you just couldn't trust it. What little you put into it was exactly that, little. And then you dipped out. I think you said what you had to say, and it might have been very, very vague. You're like, you know, I just don't think this is a good time for me. And that was fine. Because here's the thing, honey, if you can't trust somebody's energy and you don't know how to define it yourself, you just know that you're terribly uncomfortable with it, you really don't need to say too much. You just exit. Sometimes you just have to exit, especially if something feels way off. And then the world, you cycled that out. I don't know how long you were in this. It feels like weeks, possibly months. Not too long. Long enough to know that you weren't into it. I don't think you were. And so the world, that was, I believe it feels like a short cycle. I don't feel like this went on for years. I think this was weeks or months. That's just how it feels. Okay. For some of you, this is something that probably maybe tried to introduce itself around February, the start of the year. That's for some of you. And it didn't take. It just didn't take. It never felt right, huh? No. I mean, never go against that instinct. If it doesn't feel right, it isn't. That's it. That's all there is to say. You don't really owe an explanation after that. If it doesn't feel right, then it isn't. Sometimes, and I often see the opposite, two people can feel very, very strong things, and it looks like they're a match made in energetic heaven. But what we do with it in 3D is just screw it up sometimes. So if something felt that wrong, then it probably was. So I'm glad you didn't stick around and talk yourself into it. That's very good. Uh-oh. Strength. Page of Wands. 4 of Wands is in reverse. You're like, I'm sorry, I can't commit to this. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. But you're like, no, we're not gonna, you and I, relationship? No. That was kind of it. You're like, the inquiry was there. The inquiry to open up towards a relationship, and you're like, strength? No. Oh boy. Show me the world, please. Yeah, no. Some of you might have felt pressure to get into a relationship with somebody, and you're like, there's just too much surrounding you that doesn't feel right. That the world. So good for you. You didn't ignore your instincts, yeah? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You couldn't get on the same page with 4 cups. In this deck, 4 cups is literally getting on the same emotional page and on the same sexual page. I'm telling you, it never felt right. It never felt matched up. So that's why you wanted stability, and for some reason you weren't seeing stability in this. It wasn't stable, and it didn't look fair. Something was off in that dynamic, and I see that again here with justice crossing the whole damn thing. Like the emotional energy was off, the sexual energy was off, and you're like, this doesn't look nor feel stable. You're suggesting stability and building blocks and stuff like that with me and creating something, but as far as I can tell, you leave me way too confused and uncertain about what it is you're trying to get out of this, and I just don't think I feel the same way. Yeah, no, sometimes you just don't match up with people. But like I said, I usually see the opposite. Two people often match up, and for 1,000 different reasons, they reject each other. So, to your credit, you're like, you and I don't think very well. It's weird because this suggests weeks, months of knowledge that you've been sneaking away from. It doesn't make me feel comfortable. I don't like this energy between us at all. And this over here says, for some of you, this was a long-term relationship that you only started feeling uncomfortable about it at the start of the year. That's interesting. So for some of you, you're in there. I don't know why that's important, but I really thought this was something that was introducing itself to you at the start of the year. It felt like that. It might have been a concept. For some of you that were in long-term relationships that on paper looked stable, emotionally and sexually it wasn't. And you only began to realize that at the start of the year. So take it as it resonates. But I did want to clarify that. Okay, but you cycled this out. You cycled it out, or you're on the verge of it. For some of you, that is burgeoning knowledge. It's burgeoning realization. It's just now coming to you. That you don't feel comfortable in the emotional, sexual energy in this dynamic. And for some of you, you were in it a long time before you realized it. Justice, Libra energy does not have to be. Show me justice. I mean, I have to say, though, regardless whether you've met this person weeks or months ago or you've known them for years, once you stop trusting them, and once you stop trusting yourself in that dynamic, I don't know if I actually emotionally am settled in this, if I'm still passionately settled in this and devoted to it and I want to be in it. I don't know if I can trust myself in it anymore in that respect of, if I'm in this for love and love is a question, do I understand that I can trust my own motives for staying? Stuff like that. I don't know, honey. 7 of Swords twice in the world, that's heavy dip out energy. So, regardless, that's where we are today. We're closing out a sexual cycle that for some reason, yeah, the Ace of Wands was in reverse. Passion's not there, or you don't feel it anymore, or they don't, somebody don't. The way you're reacting to this suggests that you're not interested in this from a passionate point of view anymore, if you ever were. Show me justice, please. It does not turn you on. It doesn't do anything for you. Justice, 2 of Wands, waiting, the King of Pentacles, the 8 of Wands. Okay. We were always kind of waiting. The communication was there. The sense of, we just, there's something here about, I need more of the communication. I need resourcefulness. I want stability. I want a king. I want a head of household. I want effective communication. I want someone to express to me and show to me that they love me and that they care about me and that they care for me and that they're going to take care of me. There's a strong sense of I need to be communicated. Sincerity and love through action. There's something here about the communication that you want to put more of an emphasis on. You're saying it wasn't fair. That there's not enough expression of love. There's not enough expression of concern or affection. Something about there's not enough here in that respect of I need somebody to talk to me. I need somebody to show me that respect of day-to-day love and care, TLC. I want this person to communicate more with me. I want more of the intrigue. I want more of the community. There's a huge emphasis on communication between the 8 of Wands and the 2 of Wands. And it's like, I want someone to talk to me and pay more attention to me and make me feel good and make me feel turned on and that I'm seen and that they like to hear what I have to say. And there's a strong sense that I want to be provided for and protected. And it's one of those things where that's where your sexual energy has always felt off balance, perhaps, in this dynamic that preceded it. I need the foreplay, I need the warm-up, I need the flirtation, something like that. I want to be talked to. right? I don't just want to jump in there and take action. I want to be talked to. I want to be romanced. I want to be intimate in those special ways, in those special conversations, and in those special looks. It doesn't look like a lot, honey. It doesn't look like a lot, but you're saying that's why the sexual energy is just not there for me. They don't communicate well, and it makes me question them. And if I even still have feeling for this, there's something here about I want more authentic and real communication, emphasis being on the care. That I love you and I care about you. I think you're hot, you're sexy. You know, I just want to get to know you, and I want to know about your day. It's like the small intimate things for the Pisces I'm looking at that says this was not achieved with this dynamic, and that's why I'm cycling it out. No matter what was built or constitutes stability in the foundation, it doesn't take away from the fact that I was missing the little things of intimacy. And I often say it's the little things that add up, 100%. The big things have a way of taking care of themselves. The little things are most likely to be neglected. And over time, after so long, it creates a snowball effect that becomes much more powerful than whatever a big thing was. And I really feel like, honey, you felt the intimacy was way off in terms of respect, communication, general interest, and care and concern. Being turned on through engagement, real listening, active conversation, something like that. Wanting to spend more time out, to be seen, to be fed. You really have a huge emphasis here on being listened to, conversation and being listened to, flirtation, intrigue, engagement. Just listen to me, feed me, talk to me, tell me things about you. And it's just, perhaps that's where you lost the trust for this. They weren't opened up enough. You lost your sex drive for it and your emotional drive for it. I don't know. But you're telling me it's over. And the biggest issue here was the lack of intimacy in terms of communication. In day-to-day world building, something like that. Okay, let's jump on over here to this person, 8 of Wands to the Ace of Pentacles. I got somebody here who wants to talk to you. Show me the 8 of Wands. I mean, sensuality. Sensuality is huge here. So communication, by the way, is part of sensuality. Being able to talk to someone, kind of tune into their energy, tune into their frequency, find those words, that unique language, that special way of flirting. And you feel like you're not talked to. I don't know how else to put that. It's like somebody doesn't know how to hear you or tune into you properly. You know, hear what you have to say, the things that are on your mind, and feed your soul, and feed your mind, and feed your heart, and then therefore feed your sex. It's kind of like, what I'm seeing here is the bare bones concept of I just want to be appreciated for me, and have somebody be interested in what I have to say, and what it is that I'm doing. And just wanting to be loved and cared for and appreciated. Just a little more appreciation, you know? A lot more appreciation. Somewhere in your background, your sexual energy started leaning away from that person a long time ago. And it's like you can't trust it. You can't trust it because you... Why can't you trust that person's sexual energy? I don't know that they did anything bad or malicious. It's just like I'm not turned on by them anymore. Or I can't trust it. There's just too many questions surrounding them. What they want. Where they've been. Do they even want it at all? Do I want them at all anymore? It's too many question marks, honey. And if you have to question the sexual energy of yourself like that, or your persons, are they really your persons? Are you really theirs? I don't know, but that's way too many questions. I'm sorry, the timeline keeps messing with me. But all right, you two are showing me stability, but this is only a recent realization for some of you. Anyway, I'm sorry. Let's get back to it. 8 of Wands. 8 of Wands, 8 of Wands, 8 of Wands. And then I got somebody who's more than willing to talk to you, to give you those very things that you need. Somebody who can turn you on with conversation, and for some of you, good food. I don't know how else to put that, but you want someone to feed you intellectually and physically. A huge part of it is foreplay for you. Good conversation, good food, good environment. It makes you feel secure that somebody's listening to you and paying attention to you. Yeah. The Hermit. Okay. Hold on. I want to see that Ace of Pentacles real quick, please. Show me the Ace of Pentacles, please, attached to this person. Yeah. They got what you're missing, honey. They got what you're missing. They're making that very clear to me. They got what you're missing. They have very strong passion, and they mean it. Good God, they got a strong mind and a strong will, don't they? And a strong sense of passion when it comes to you. They'd love to plant that Ace of Pentacles on you. Honey, this person would love to fuck you up in bed. Let me tell you that right now. But they also have a very strong sense of loyalty and devotion attached to them. Very much so. They take sex very seriously. But more than that, this is that person who initiates sex and engages in it. For the right person. This is the person who will take your hand and take you upstairs, and they won't hesitate. And they don't do that with just anybody, just with the person who they know their energy's aimed at. So this person is very goal-oriented in both sex as well as in relationships. I cannot begin to tell you how I know that. I just do. They have a strong mind. They might be very intelligent. They have a strong sense of what sex is for. Literally, Knight of Wands, that's that person's sexual energy is fierce as hell. And they only put it towards an operable direction. In other words, it has to mean something. Ace of Pentacles attached twice to this person. So not only do they have a very healthy sex drive that's natural to them, they have a strong mind, strong will, and they exercise it appropriately in good investments. That's good. That's very good. That means this person is aware by default of their sexual energy, and that's what we want. I cannot stand it when people are ignorant of their sexual energy, because then they run around doing stupid shit and they don't know why they're doing it, and it causes and wreaks so much havoc. So this is the opposite of that. This person is very aware of their sexual energy, what it means to them. They actually have a very sharp mind about it, strong imagination, strong sex drive, but again, healthy influence. Ace of Pentacles, in other words, I only show my sex to real investments. I'm sorry, I'm legit. This is who I am. I'm legit. I don't do fucking around. Just because I'm passionate and have a strong will doesn't mean anybody gets to have that. I know what I'm doing, unlike most people. And this person has a very strong idea of what they would like to do to you. Let's get back to that. The reason I had to clarify further is because by all rights, this person says they know you to some way. They do communicate, or they have that energy towards you. I know how to communicate with Pisces. I'd be more than happy to communicate with Pisces. I would love to. I don't know that this person knows necessarily what you're missing, but the criteria that you said that you are missing and that you desire the most, and this is the reason why your current relationship or whatever this is that you are dipping out of or cycling out of at some point in your future timeline, and you will, that's the Pisces I'm looking at, says, I don't feel like I'm cared for or that my day-to-day world is appreciated at all. You know, this person doesn't have good conversation with me. They don't have no interest in getting to know me on a personal level, not anymore. They haven't for a long time. It makes me question them. Is that what that is? Their lack of interest, that makes sense though. It does. Psychologically, yes, it does make sense. Is that what that is though? Because that person stopped taking an interest in you, it put you in that position naturally to question whether or not they love you or have any sexual energy towards you that's healthy, and you in turn are affected by that. You no longer desire them. Because if you are indeed that Pisces, that you need the extra TLC, that you need effective communication to feel safe and secure in your relationships, and if that's neglected, yeah, it would stand to reason that you're not going to trust your partner, their energy towards you, or your energy towards them. Anyway, Eight of Wands says that this person is more than capable of giving you that which you want. Very much so. They are desirous of you. They have authentic energy. They have a strong head on their shoulders. And they say they know you a little bit. The Ten of Cups, Two of Pentacles, the Hermit. Their energy says that they would love to work on an emotional relationship with you. They just don't know how. And they would love to communicate that with you. But the idea is that I don't know how. And especially if this person understands that you were in something, that would make sense. You know, they would love to have emotional harmony with you. They would love to emotionally balance with you. Could literally be Virgo. It doesn't feel like that. I think this person's a very serious contemplator. They probably tend to be in their head a great deal. They also might have some very strong healing qualities attached to them as well. But this is someone who takes their thoughts and their passions and their feelings to a very deep place. Understands them, tries to understand them. And they've thought about it 1,000 times, they said, but they don't know how they could possibly invest in you in that way or harmonize with you as much as they would like to. They would love to talk to you and tell you all these things, to give you that love and appreciation that you so desire, to feel safe and secure in your sex and in your heart. They would like to do that. But they also said, I wouldn't know how. It's not my place to consolidate that particular energy. I would love to communicate it with you, though. So they may not know where you are in terms of availability. But they do know you. They do know you. It's beautiful, actually. Somebody here takes really good care of their body. They prefer to be outdoors. Dark hair. They like to be outdoors. They're outdoors a lot. Always in observation. Someone's always in observation mode. Contemplation, serious contemplation. Like to be outdoors. The greenery. For some people it's swimming. Like to be in the pool a lot. Deep thinker. Yes, I think about you a great deal. And they said that they would like to harmonize with you, but they wouldn't know where to begin. Especially if they understand that you're still in something, or you were. I don't know how long it will take you to exit this, because that 10 and 6 of Pentacles threw me off in terms of timeline. So I keep coming back to that because it looks like it's supposed to be a long-term stability thing that is emotionally and sexually not stable. Which means this has only recently occurred to you. For some of you, that person's Libra, Taurus, maybe, Virgo, but I don't think so. Not Virgo. Okay, it could be. Could be Pisces. Let's keep cracking. I don't know how long it will take you to exit that cycle. I just know that it's headed in that direction. Okay. Time will tell. Speaking of which, let's take a look at Judgment. Show me Judgment, please. Show me Judgment, please. I've got 2 figures here. Show me Judgment, please. Show me Judgment, please. Page of Wands, opening up, 4 of Swords, healing. It is a call to move on, okay? And that's something that you cannot force anyone to do. You have to be in a position, and you have to be ready to honor that call. I know that you want to cycle this out. You've been sidestepping that particular energy because it's unattractive, and it has been. I don't know how long, but it's been unattractive. It no longer calls to you. It no longer appeals to you. And frankly, you don't trust it. You don't trust it because it doesn't seem to be interested in who you are as a whole human being every day. So again, it makes sense to me. You're going to stop desiring somebody who has shown that they have a lack of interest in you, and specifically who you are as a person. You just want someone to be interested in who you are every day. And that's a big thing, right? You know, you stop trusting your sexual frequency towards this person, your emotional frequency towards them, and what's left? What is left? I don't know how long it's going to take you to cycle this out, but it is something that you have to honor your own sense of judgment call, because you have pain to work through. You have to understand that your heart is hurt in order for you to do something about it, and that's true. You have to understand that you're in pain in order to fix it. So I don't know how long you've been dodging that particular energy that's no longer attractive to you, but that never really addressed the issue, did it? Judgment saying, if you really want to move forward, if you really want to make good on an energy that by all rights really wants to give its best parts to you, sexually, mentally, physically, okay, with legitimacy. You want the best of that. You say you want someone to care about you in your day-to-day world and to really mean it. Or you don't feel like you have to sidestep anybody's energy because it no longer feels like home to you, or it no longer feels comfortable to you, or sexually open to you anymore, or you're not sexually open towards it anymore, etc. You're going to have to get into that space of acknowledging the pain so you can fix it. Rest on it, heal on it. You know, there's just a heartbreak in you that hasn't really been addressed. You understand there's problems, but you haven't really understood the source of it and how hurtful it has been over time. You got some pain in you that you need to address, honey. Okay? It's an acceptance of that pain, acceptance of the heartbreak with the 4 swords and the 3 swords, that you in fact miss and mourn the natural flow of energies between you and somebody. You miss the natural flow of sex, you miss the natural flow of heart, love, and how it's been denied to you for how long now. I'm really starting to suspect that timeline, Pisces. You'll have to forgive me, honey. But this is going a little deeper than you initially presented to me. So it's making me think this is only now occurring to you. After how many years? Things aren't always straightforward in tarot. The timeline jumps. And energy unfolds to me as the collective becomes more comfortable in presenting it. So I will often see withholding energy until somebody's finally pressed to tell the truth so I can understand it. That happens a lot. Sometimes the collectives can be incredibly bold and say, well, this is what's going on, and it's a shit show. Now what? And other collectives will just tease it out, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, and then they'll throw shit at me at the 11th hour. It happens a lot. It depends on how comfortable you are with the truth, and you opened up with a very uncomfortable truth. You're not gravitating towards someone's energy anymore, naturally, and they're not gravitating towards yours anymore, and it makes you even more distrustful of them, especially since you've given me a huge emphasis on, I don't think they care about me in the day-to-day. No, they don't really talk to me. They don't feed me. They don't feed my soul. They don't feed my sex. They don't feed my heart. But by all rights, we're stable. Well, it depends on what you define as stability. If you mean your pentacle world is stable, okay. But I'm a water sign, so are you. What about emotional stability? Do you value that? Do you value sexual stability? In other words, you still want to have a partner that you can desire after time has passed and they desire you. Is that valuable to you? I think so. King of Swords, King of Pentacles. I got some repeating energies. I can't help but see and tie back to you that King of Pentacles. Some of you are very, very resourceful. You are about sensuality. You are about comfort of home and care, what you can touch, taste, see, feel, and experience in yourself and with your person. That's a high value to you. And many of you value sound. I can just see it and hear it. You value sound, communication, comfort of food, love, care, and attention. Very home space. Again, it's that I need to know that I'm loved and supported in all the right ways. And that King of Swords, I do have that Queen of Swords over here. Okay, oh yeah, we're going to switch now. Show me that King of Swords, please. Show me that King of Swords. Let's take a look. Showing that King of Swords, I don't know how long it's going to take you to part ways. I just know this. Under judgment, how easy or hard this will be will completely depend on you and your ability to reconcile yourself to the heartbreak. Showing that King of Swords, it's not enough to just end things and be like, well, I'm done with that. No, we got to understand the pain behind it. Otherwise, we'll repeat it. And we don't want to repeat this, honey. You've been there. You've done that. You don't want to repeat that particular circus, do you? No. That's going to be a huge piece to your success in moving forward. Consolidate yourself to the pain, why it's there, and what it is that you can do and cannot do without. Okay. Page of Pentacles, Eight of Wands. There it is again. God, they want to... Oh, honey, I'm telling you, what you missing, they got. They got. What you missing, they got. I don't know who they are. I've given you enough characteristics, and by all rights, they say they do know you to some way. And they've thought about 1,000 times how they would love to emotionally reconcile with you, to give you more, and to communicate that they want to give you more. This person has given me strong, consistent markers in three ways. Strong mind, first and foremost. They might be very intelligent, like I said, witty, charming, or highly intelligent. 2, they have given me strong notes of healer with both now temperance as well as the hermit. So this person, strong mind, and really good energy in terms of healing should come first. Healing should come first. Healing should come first. And they're right, healing should come first. And Eight of Wands, they want to communicate to you concepts of healing, strength, fortitude, your value, your worth, as they see you, as they would like to experience you, how they would like to talk to you. And also they have a very strong disposition towards their sex. I'm telling you, this person has presented very strong cornerstones to their personality. They believe that sex is healing, and they believe that sex is a bonding element. I agree, 100%. I have that same point of view. They also believe that sex should be real and valid. It should not be taken lightly. It's something that should be saved and savored for a unique person, for the strongest bonding types. All that they want to help you heal. They want to be an element in your life. They are a strong support system, but more than that, they are offering you emotional and sexual high levels of complexity and flavor and depth that they attach to you, or they would like to attach to you. Whether or not you will let this person in is entirely up to you. I just know that once they start talking, they don't shut up. And I'll tell you what, it's good. They are just dying to get in there with you and exist in that kind of world with you, where it's like we're on point, we're sharing ideas and exchanging ideas and sharing love and sharing sex, and we're building something together that is cohesive and it makes sense between us both. So they have the will and the gumption, I tell you what, to do it. Oh my goodness, they don't mess around. I really think, honey, this person could be good for you. And it makes sense to me that if it's true that they understand that you're in something, or that it's over, it's on the verge of being over, and that you're recovering from it, or perhaps they don't know at all. I don't know. I don't know that they know, because the reason why they haven't interacted with you and given you all this goodness is because, as far as I can tell, they understand that they can't. That's it. But once they understand that if you're open to it, they're not going to hesitate. They got real deal energy written all over them. So if it gets to that point of opening up, I hope that you allow it. I do. I do. I do. You don't have to accept anything you don't want to, but honey, you say this is what was missing, and it was very simple. This person has all that in spades and then some. So they don't fake their authentic self. They are very emotionally forward, they are sexually forward, and they are mentally forward. In other words, I know what I'm doing and I know why I'm doing it. So that's beautiful. So if you say this is what's been missing, give yourself that sense of respect to take on the energy that says, I can fit that bill. You know? If you really say, I'm closing out and I'm done with this and this is what's missing, I hope you allow yourself to accept this, because it's very steadfast, very consistent. And I'll tell you what, they have got the hots for you, but the emotionality of a true relationship is behind them as well. They'd like to be that fixture in your world, the person who does hear how your day went and praise you correctly, support you correctly, give you encouragement correctly, love you correctly, fuck you correctly. It's all there. And it's all good and it's all beautiful. King of Wands. That's you. That's Chariot. Four of Pentacles. Okay. A little bit of reservation there. That's all right. You're still moving forward. You're showing me a little bit of conservatism, and that's fine. I don't care so long as you take strides. That's so funny. Who showed me that? That was Scorpio's other person, kind of. It was like that. But King of Pentacles. You've already shown me that's you. King of Wands. There you are, being passionate, feeling turned on. Like, okay, I'm going to move forward. I've made up my mind with the Chariot. Moving forward. Four of Pentacles. All right. A little bit of stubbornness there, isn't there? I like that. That's sexy. I like a little bit of stubbornness. Stubbornness to move forward, but also take it easy. The Knight of Pentacles already pulled up in your sexual strengths. I'm going to take it slow, but sincere. And so you are. I see you opening up to this. I was hoping that you would, and that you are. You seem to be legitimately turned on and legitimately excited, and you're like, okay, I'm showing up. So, and it's stubborn too. It's like I have made up my mind with the Four of Pentacles, but also not everything at once. All right, but you are turned on, and you really want to make a legit move in this. It's like, okay. You're like, I see you, person. I see you. Let's give this thing a shot. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. And you like it. You have a very strong reception towards it. I see you showing up boldly for it, but still from a resourceful, grounded, level-headed point of view. But now you're turned on. So all that passion that is like, I'm not feeling it with that person. I don't think they're feeling it towards me. I don't trust it. They don't seem to care about my day. That kind of thing. And it's been like that for a while. It's neglectful energy. Okay? Not so neglectful now. So it's like, no, I'm taking this shot. I'm gonna try that. I'm holding on to this. I've been waiting for this. But also not everything at one time. So I think that's a good compromise. But I like the sincerity. The Knight of Pentacles and your sexual strength. I'm going to take it slow. I want to know where I'm going. For some of you, it does involve reconnection with a special friend. That's for some of you, not all of you. Some of that Knight of Pentacles, please. I don't know how far out in that timeline it is, but I'm supposed to be covering the next several months. Show me that Knight of Pentacles, please. And your sexual strengths. Some of you have some very strong earth in your chart. Some of that Knight of Pentacles, please. Ace of Swords, your particular truth. The Queen of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles. You don't ever want to get into that space of being... I agree. No, that's correct. I completely agree with that. You don't ever want to get into that space again, sexually speaking, of you being separated from your sense of self-worth. Just because you put a priority on comfort zone and tender love and care and resourcefulness and household energy, you know, you should not be accepting less than in your sexual energy or otherwise. And that's why you want to go slow. You don't want to make the same mistake twice. You just don't. It's one of those things. I don't ever want to be devalued in my sexual energy again. And I don't ever want to be devalued in my home space energy again. I don't ever want that to ever happen again. So that means I'm going to move slow into whatever it is I choose to move towards in the future, so it won't happen twice. I don't want to have to part ways with my sense of self ever again. I agree. So that King, Queen of Pentacles, they're all about that self-worth, self-value in regards to their sex. And it's kind of like I was separated from my sense of sex, my sense of self-worth, my sense of love and care. For this Pisces, they are one and the same. You associate your sexuality with TLC from a primary person. That's true for a lot of people. And you're like, I understand now that if I feel devalued or I'm not cared for properly in my sex or otherwise, then it's against what I'm worth. And I don't want to ever live live contrary to my worth ever again. If somebody devalues my sex, that means they're devaluing me. If somebody devalues my love, they're devaluing me. If somebody is devaluing my own sense of well-being and care and concern, then that's devaluing me, etc. So that's all you ever wanted. And that you're saying that whoever's not being fair with you in that respect, that's all you ever wanted and had for a long time, is just to know that your person's showing up for you and they're listening and that they're feeding your soul and they're feeding your love and they're feeding your sex correctly. That's all you ever wanted, is that. And that's what our person, our spouse, should be doing. Okay, caring for us in those ways. That's kind of like, hey, that's what you signed up for, right? And you haven't. And I keep coming back to that. Some of you have only recently started discovering and allowing yourself to realize you've had an aversion towards your person for a long time. You've been averse to their sexual energy. You've been averse to their emotional energy, but it's just now catching up to you. So even though it looked very recent in my eyes, it's actually coming from a premise of established. I have to agree with you overall, honey. It's like if you have to question someone's sexual energy towards you, and you in turn have to question yourself, and you shouldn't have those questions. Right? It either is or it isn't. And if it puts you into a place where you feel like you had to devalue yourself over time because somebody else didn't understand your value or didn't appreciate you sexually otherwise, yeah, it's not good that you started to be averse to that person's energy. You don't know what they want. Are they lying to you? Are they making you feel important but they don't mean it? You know? Or are they not even doing that? Something like that. I'm sorry. I really thought some of you had dodged like some sort of sexual bullet. It's like, that person's gross and I don't understand it. It's not like that, is it? You shouldn't have to question someone's sexual motivation. Let's put it that way. You should not have to question someone's sexual interest, especially if you've titled them as partner. They shouldn't make you have to feel averse to your own sexual energy. Okay. Three of Wands. Show me that Three of Wands, please. Show me that Three of Wands. Show me that Three of Wands, please. For this person, I will say sexual energy for them feels incredibly natural. Like I said, they see it as healing and bonding. But they also say legitimate offers only. This is not someone whose sexual energy we would want to avoid. We'd want to walk right into that. It's very warm, sincere, inviting, and strong as hell. Three of Wands. Eight of Pentacles, Nine of Swords. Oh, Eight of Swords. Dare, dare, dare. Yeah, I agree. The obstacles? Okay. I think I see it now. I should have started out there. That would have given me a really good idea of the picture. That's why I was so confused by the timeline. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. This is a long-established thing that you've been trying to make work for years until only recently you started to realize it's not working. This is really true for human beings on a psychological level. It's kind of like I put so much of myself into this, so I got to keep believing that one day it'll pay out well. It's got to mean something in the end, right? Has to. So I'm going to keep at it and keep at it. So we keep investing. What we would be better equipped with doing is to draw a line under the sand and say, you know what, I cut that check and have to write it off as a loss. If we did that sooner, we would stop investing and stop wasting time and energy, effort, love, expectation, false hope. But we're not really built like that. Human beings have this double down thing. I started the investment, I put so much of myself into it, I gotta keep doing it. And maybe one day, the payout, maybe one day my person will appreciate me better. Maybe one day my person will remember their love for me. Maybe one day their sexual energy for me will improve. Maybe one day they'll be more sincere with me like they used to be. Right? Because I put so much time, energy, and effort into this. By God, they'll come around. Oh no, that's all that is. So, it's something that you've been working on with your person for a long time, but blind to the results because there hasn't been any. We've only now started seeing this. So it was a bit of both. It's an established thing. I don't know how far your commitment goes. I don't know if it's marriage. I don't know if it's a long-term relationship. But it's been around for a while, and we're just now starting to realize the problems in it. So judgment. It is your judgment call to see this and how much it has hurt you. The neglect specifically. Okay? Because what you want, Pisces, honey, looks incredibly simple. You just want to know that you're loved, legitimately loved. And not feeling like you have to apologize for your feelings, your wants, or your needs. or someone make you feel bad about it, or you can no longer trust theirs. Either way, it's not good. And you have a sneaking suspicion, by the way, that this person started losing sexual interest, and they've never been able to quite define it. And you can't really trust their answer. Yeah, I know. That's because it's not coming from an authentic place. Okay, the Empress, beautiful energy. And moving forward, you seem to have a much bolder sense of where you are best served. Okay. Where you have no inhibitions towards somebody, and that you are very comfortable now with your sexual energy. In other words, there's no more question marks surrounding it. No more question marks. There shouldn't be any question marks regarding someone's sexuality when you're in a committed long-term relationship. The whole point of dating is to discover some of those things so you can filter out appropriately, right? But when you're in a long-term, sometimes it takes, well, a long time to discover that things have changed and they no longer mean the same thing. Ten of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, Queen of Swords. Whoever this person is, they've shown up consistently many times. King and Queen of Swords could literally be air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. All they're telling me is that this person has a very strong mind. Very strong mind, very strong-willed. They want the real deal with you. So, again, whatever it is that you was missing, they got it. They're your missing piece, I believe. You are growing into this relationship. That's what growing into a relationship looks like. Taking your time. But you feel good, very good. You're no longer questioning your sexual energy, your emotional energy, because this person leaves you in no doubt. They're very honest, they're clear communicators, and they don't mince words. They really say what they're thinking, and they really say what they're feeling. Yeah, I mean, they're pleased as punch that they are growing in this with you. Your sexual energy is much alleviated, and more to the point, your emotional energy with this person is harmonized to the highest degree. It can only grow from there. It can only grow from there, honey. You're very comfortable, very relaxed. Because again, when someone loves you the way you are, brings out your best qualities, your best emotional qualities, your best sexual qualities, and you are at peace with that, you can't put a price on that. You just can't. The comfort of knowing someone is loving you appropriately brings out your best. And it's just something you can't put a price on. You cannot. No. I think the person that's giving toward you is an ace, but it's been an unexplored ace. Okay, so it's energy that they would like to give you, to share with you. But you know them to some extent. They know you to some extent. When you two decide to really give this a crack, I don't know. Let's take a look at that. I might get some answers here. For some of you, I have to insist you're still back here and your cycle has not been complete. You will have a better idea of completion when you get into that space of allowing yourself to feel the pain and to heal from it, and that's when you're going to start making decisions. But as far as I can tell, a sexual cycle with this person's over, but a foundation is very strongly in play. It's not emotionally stable and it's not sexually stable. It leaves you in way too many questions and doubts, so you have to ask yourself, is this worth keeping in play? Because it looks like you have your answer by now. I know you were watching and waiting and hoping for things to get better, so you keep paying into it, you keep investing, but there's no clear idea of functionality here, not in the ways that you need it. Okay? That person has shown up consistently. Healing, effectiveness, strong mind, strong determination, strong love, strong sex. Over and over again, they've said it repeatedly. They don't change. It's a good song to keep playing as far as I'm concerned. Okay. When do we start communicating with this, exchanging? Person's a very effective communicator. When does the investment begin? November for some of you. Wow, that's such a strong response. November for some of you. I'm not suggesting that you're waiting. You may have no idea who this is. Okay? They might have been in your world in some way where they tried to engage in you in some way. You know them, so they're not a brand new entity. And how it reconnects, I don't know. But I see what looks like the tentative lines of communication begin to open up for some of you in that way in November. Now, there might be a precursor to that. What does that mean? Friendly communications at first that happen before we start to looking at this at a more romantic way, before we start looking at more this as a partnership way, says November. For others of you, the process with this person might start out as friendship. You have to remember, I'm seeing somebody determined to start out slow. So there might be an introduction of friendship that precedes the romantic building piece. Okay, so that was very distinctly in November. Okay, so don't obsess over timing. That's not going to help you. It will come through when it's supposed to come through. And for 6 months from now, yeah. I'm telling you, where that puts us in a fall timeline. So, and that's what I'm saying. I told you around July. There is a precursor to this. Friendship first, getting reacquainted, getting reestablished. I don't know. That feels like it's going to happen sooner rather than later. The thing that happens later is when we start investing more in a partnership type way. Okay. That is later on in the year. For some of you, we'll be reconnecting with this entity, this energy, around July. Call it summer. Okay. Let's do some advice. Advice, please. Advice, please. My first piece of advice to you, honey, is to know what you want. There's a big difference between stability in 3D world. Okay, paper, medallion, pentacle, and emotional and sexual stability. Okay. And how long has that energy been avoiding you, and how long have you been avoiding that energy, and how much has it taken a toll on your heart? That's going to help you understand what your values are. Okay. How would you advise Pisces, please? And understand that you're just waiting and hoping endlessly. This is what you call false hope, and I'm not a huge fan of that. Just waiting with expectations for things to improve without seeing evidence. That's expectation without reality, and that's false hope, and I don't like that. That's a big one. So time is more at play here than I understood. But if you choose to move forward, it's beautiful. Strength, you have to go. You have to be willing to go within and understand what's in your heart. And for somebody, it's going to take phenomenal strength, especially if you've been avoiding this for years, and you don't want to question the sexual energy, but it's always a question. And you don't want to question the emotional energy, but it's always a question. It's going to take strength to go within and understand the resolve that it's going to need to take to fix this. Well, not this. It's over. What I mean is fix the course of your life, the direction, where it's going, how it's moving, what do you value? Because I got someone here who not just matches the sense of value that you desire, they are more than happy to supply it to you. They have a very specific energetic imprint to you, towards you, by you, around you. This is that person who wants to hear how your day went. They want to have ideas with you. They want to feed you. There's something about that person's energy. I keep hearing the word delicious. They might be a foodie person. I don't quite know. Everything's delicious. Oh, it's fabulous. It's so delicious. I don't know what that is, but it's sincere. It's sincere. Okay. Receive. Yes, I advised you. if you really want that, you have to be open to receive it, and I hope that you do. Everything is a choice. All is free will. And if you well and truly are that Pisces who says, I'm willing to take my sexual energy slow, but I will never be separated from my sense of self-worth and what I deserve ever again, then you will allow yourself to receive what you deserve instead of just hoping things will work out. You see where that's gotten you. Honey, if you're saying the sexual energy and the emotional energy between you and a person isn't fair because they don't seem to care about you on the day-to-day, is that a big deal or not a big deal? I think you already know what the answer to that is. That's a problem. You take me for granted. Present. Show abundance, gratitude for your presence. Remember, that's that judgment energy. Remember to awakening. You have your own particular alchemy within you. You have more strength than you know. You are abundant in your own way. If this person chooses to devalue you, it's not because you don't have anything. It's because you actually have quite a bit and they just forgot to recognize it or appreciate it or care for it. That's exactly why you focus on those little things, is because it's what they don't give you. You are abundant. You're a whole human being. You are worthy of love and to be loved and to receive what you need emotionally in terms of security and sexuality. You are deserving of all those things. Just because somebody else forgot your worth doesn't mean that you should. That's what this is. I will never forget my worth again. You cannot allow yourself to see yourself as not being worthy just because somebody forgot how to appreciate your value. That obligates you even more to remember yours. Oh, trust me, honey. When people fail to understand your worth, it's very tempting to follow that train of thought. It obligates you more to remember what you're worth. You are abundant. You're a whole human being. And you deserve to never ever be in a position to forget your own sense of self-worth ever again, sexually or otherwise. I'm telling you, okay, for some of you, that new person who isn't so new, but you get the idea. Ace of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. They've shown me that this person has a very strong mind, strong will, determined, disciplined comes to mind, very disciplined. Oh, but very sexually comfortable, very emotionally comfortable. But for some of you, it's a water sign. If some of you, specifically a Scorpio, you have got to transform, honey. There's a transformation phase within you. I agree. That's what Judgment's here is, pointing out the pain to you. You need to rest on it and understand what's worth it to you. You need to transform this feeling of rejection and loss. I got a partner here who clearly rejects your energy, and you have come to distrust it in kind. And that's what happens when somebody rejects you over and over again when they're supposed to be with you. You're going to stop trusting them. Specifically, you stop trusting them to care about you because you're correct. Thing is, you just don't know that you're correct. You have got to transform this concept of rejection and loss and being fragmented to the fact that you're a whole human being, worthy of so much more. You've got to transform this. Just because, again, someone fails to recognize your abundance, obligates you even more to remember yours. Okay? Okay. There is, that's all I saw here. Separation. Yeah, I don't know when. I honestly don't know when. I don't know how long it's going to take you to close out that cycle. You're going to have to retreat and think about commitment. What does commitment mean? Commitment to yourself, your principles as a person, and are your principles and your commitment being met? Somebody has retreated from their commitment to love and honor the other person. Okay? Taurian energy here, doesn't have to be. But we need to retreat. What does commitment mean? And is that commitment being honored? Specifically, love, sex. Anything other than the resume stuff, the 3D energy, that's easy. Mortgage is a mortgage. A car is a car. How about you as a human being? Are you being honored and committed by your higher self? By someone else? To hold you in high regard like they vowed to? Are you doing the same for them at this point? Are you able to? Do you want to? Because it doesn't look like you're receiving it, so why would you be giving it? Think about that. Okay. This person wants to do more than hold you in high regard, honey. It's looking like they want to give and feed you. Something like that. In what order, I don't know. But they want to. They do. They're not very shy about it. Not when it comes to you. But I will say this. They're a deep thinker. But they take their sexuality to a very strong place. They know what it's for. They know who it's supposed to be reserved for. And that's for a partner only. So I like how you do open up to it, and that was literally your advice, is open up, be open to receive it. So for some of you, we're going to reestablish with this energy, most likely as friend, maybe some low-level comms, communications, around summer. But the first inclination, the first indication I see that it might start to take a step in a deeper direction, November. What happens to this, I do not know. Or how long. Okay. Scorpio. Libra. That's funny because those were some... Yeah. One of the exiting and one of the entries is Libra Scorpio for some of you. Yeah. We've got the medallion of Scorpio, and then I definitely saw Libra, and it was an opposition challenge. That's not great. It's not good. It's not a knock on Libra. It's just we don't want any kind of power energy like that in opposition, because that means the obstacle's that much higher. Okay. So yeah, Scorpio, Libra. QWI. Dog with the bone. The anxiety. Going over the same thing over and over again. The anxiety. Sometimes, honey, the only thing to do is to just start doing it. Stop thinking about it. Just start doing it. Steps. Steps. The dragon upside down. Someone has lost their passion, yes. Dragonfly. Transformation. Hard-wearing transformation. Again, another symbol of Scorpio. At world's end, the world. Which I already saw. Last December might have been terribly important. And then upcoming December might be important as well. There also might be something to do with the gift giving, but it's the wreath. It's the circular motion. The world. You know, and where one thing closes out, another thing opens. It's a gift, either way. Okay, nice, but I was hoping to get some more letters. Y, H. The rabbit from Alice in Wonderland, always busy, never making the time. Best efforts, but always busy, distracted. No quality of time, no quality of care. Drowning ourselves in busyness so we don't have to see it. Generous. I'm saying the medallion's in the reverse. Generous and ambitious. Somebody here might be very, very generous. Very ambitious. Whoever that is, they have a lot of drive. A lot of goodwill attached to their energy, and they seem to get a lot of shit done. And then also, of course, that would be Capricorn and Leo for some of you. But I was reading it as the power word. Okay. Pisces, honey, that's enough. Congratulations to you. Yes, calling in your soulmate, no doubt. I'm saying congratulations to you. Everything's dependent upon you, of course. Tarot doesn't dictate anything you do. I can only tell you the energies that is available to you. Which ones aren't, even though it's with you technically. I don't know that it's fully exited yet. I honestly can't see it. I do know that the sex is over. You can't trust their energy towards you anymore. You just can't. But you don't, it's hard for you to look at it too. And that's really your strongest advice by far, that if you really want to know what to do next, Pisces, you're going to have to go within and start absorbing the pain to understand what to do. Okay, it's not enough to just avoid this or to be unhappy. You got to do something about it, right? You've done the whole thing where you've been looking out on the horizon hoping for improvement so you wouldn't have to do anything, right? That would be the easiest thing. That's just not how life works. Sometimes we have to do the hardest thing if we want to know the best thing. And I got someone around you who's, energetically speaking and realistically speaking, in the 3D is a much higher level of compatibility for you and what it is that you are desiring and wanting. You know them to some extent. They know you to some extent. They would love to emotionally harmonize with you and to heal with you and give you that which you deserve. They see the best in you. But you have to know that you want that. And you also have to understand what it is you're not going to get from this anymore. And if the stability is enough for you, real and truly, you know who you're coming home to every day, clocking in, clocking out. And if that's enough for you, none of this would be here. So if you, I just missed that S, the letter S. So if you're well and truly that Pisces who says, I will never be made to feel devalued ever again, that I'm not worth anything and I'm not worth somebody's time, care, and attention. Time passing isn't an excuse. That's not what I signed up for. That's not the commitment I wanted. You have to know that. Because by all rights, that 10 of Cups that this person really wants to harmonize with you, they by all rights do. You want to take it slow? That's fine. They don't care. So long as it's real and they're having it with you. That's all that matters. And you seem to want it. So I hope you allow yourself open to receive it. Okay? All right, honey. The next round of readings, 2 weeks from today, will be the 3-month overview. I do not know that I will see a continuation of this. We shall see. But yeah, this was really good. And I think it was very realistic. Particularly in regards to standards and expectations for sexual energy. We take it for granted until we realize it's not there anymore. And that we can't trust somebody else's impression of sexual energy, how they're giving it to us, how they're not giving it to us. And we no longer really want it from them either, because it doesn't feel very good anymore, or real, or authentic. And when we get to the point where we don't want to think about it anymore, that's a huge red flag. I don't want to think about it anymore. That's exactly what we need to be thinking about. So we can start healing from it and understanding what the hell we're supposed to do. I know that, honey, you've gone through that phase, and you're probably still going through that phase. Well, the sexual energy doesn't matter, Christina. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's the stability that matters. Then why am I saying this? Sorry, you can't get that one around me. Hour and 17 minutes is pretty obvious at this point. No, if the sexual energy really didn't matter to you, you wouldn't have to lie to yourself about it, and you wouldn't have to lean away from their energy because it kind of grosses you out how uninterested they are in you now. And you wouldn't be showing me so much massive disappointment. It's like, this part of my life is over, and I built a whole world with him. What the hell? That's not fucking fair. You're right, it isn't. So what do you do about it? I got someone who is kind of ready to hit the ground running to start building with you. Not because they don't have any sense of value for themselves. It's because they understand who they are. They don't seem to question it. They don't seem to apologize for it. They know who they are, and they know who you are. They know what they want. And think about it. That person, do they know what they want? Clearly not. That's a rhetorical question. We already know the answer to that. This person knows what they want, and you don't want them to apologize for it, do you? You're either attracted to them or not. You're either interested in that way or you're not, and you are. So let's take that question off the table. You want someone to respect who you are and help you remember your worth and you'll never forget it again? Then you pick the energy accordingly to match that goal and desire, not the one who doesn't. Yeah? All right. That's it. Really, that's the advice from your Auntie Sassy. All right, honey. I will see you in a couple weeks, like I said. Put in the comments as you see fit. Take care. Be well.